Elbow pain can be miserable, but the truth is you don't have to live with elbow pain. And the trick is being able to balance the muscles of your elbows that rotate your hand and making sure you have full extension and full flexion of the elbow joint. And the good news is today, I'm gonna share a clip from the Upper Body Fix Masterclass that covers exactly what you need to do to make your elbows feel amazing again. Check it out. So the first thing I like to work on with people with elbow pain is balancing the external and internal rotation of the wrist to see if strengthening those muscles balances out the elbow. So here's how to do it, okay? You're gonna take up your palm and you're gonna make a fist like this with your palm facing the sky. Now I'm gonna take my other hand, I'm gonna put it on top of my hand like this. And what I'm gonna do is this, I'm gonna turn my hand towards the ground like this, but I'm gonna resist it with this hand. So I'm gonna turn my hand towards the ground, I'm gonna provide a little bit of resistance. This should not hurt. This should be just difficult enough for you to feel a little bit of a pump and a twist in the muscles inside your forearm, okay? Once you've got to the bottom, come back to the top and repeat. And you're gonna do this maybe 10 or so times until you feel a little bit of a pump in your forearm. Just about 3 or so seconds down, twisting as far as you can, providing that resistance with this hand, trying to get that pump in the forearm, okay? Now, once you've done 10 reps, turning your palm from an upward position to a downward position, start with your palm in a downward position and we're gonna do it a little differently. Now I'm gonna grab onto my knuckles from underneath like this, and I'm gonna turn my palm toward the sky, and I'm gonna resist the opposite direction. So I'm gonna grab my knuckles and I'm gonna turn my palm toward the sky. This one is more commonly the issue in the imbalance. This one's usually the weaker motion than this one. This one's usually strong, palm towards ground. Going ground to sky is a little bit more difficult. So do that same one, slow, 3 seconds up, and then come back down. And then 3 seconds up, and then come back down. Now, the goal for this movement should be for you to do these wrist twists at least once per day until you get a nice pump in your forearm. You know, typically for people, that's gonna be at least 10 reps each direction, but some people that's gonna be 10, 15, 20, maybe 25, 30 reps, okay? So whatever you feel like you tolerate well, and again, we're not doing this and then going, oh, there's a little bit of pain, ouch, ooh, keep going. We're going, okay, there's too much pain, slow down, not as much resistance, and just move slow. Even if you start out in the beginning doing this motion where it barely feels like you're providing any resistance, but you're just getting that smoothness of the motion again, it's gonna help balance the internal and external rotators of the wrist, which oftentimes helps the elbow regain the balance it needs to get rid of the pain that you might have from tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, things like that. So that is movement number 1 for the elbow, right? The next one is gonna require a little towel, and this could be any towel, hand towel, even a washcloth. And what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna take the towel and kind of ball it up and kind of roll it up nice and tight. And then we're gonna put our hands together with our knuckles together like this, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rotate one hand up and one hand down, and imagine I'm trying to wring the towel out the water, okay? Ugh! So I'm twisting and I'm rotating, right? And I'm coming back to the start. I'll choke up on the towel a little bit and I'll go the other way. Wring it out the other way, ugh! And then I'm just gonna go back and forth, choking up on it each time, trying to get tighter and tighter, wring it out like this, and just go back and forth. Now, if you guys wanna try something really fun with this particular movement, you can get a little bucket of water, and you can set a little line, take a little Sharpie and put a little line on the bucket of water where the water was. Then you take your hand towel, you dip it in the water, and you wring that thing out until you've almost got the water back up to the line that you put there. That's a real fun thing to do if you want to try this out maybe 2 or 3 days a week. Now this one doesn't need to be done every day because you're going to be squeezing and rotating a little bit harder than the wrist twist that I just showed you. So 3 days a week is plenty for this movement. Again, you're trying to build a strong pump in the wrists and the forearms that are going to support the musculature of the elbows. And again, do not go to the point of causing pain in your elbows, okay? So make sure you're just doing whatever you feel comfortable as you wrist twist from side to side, okay? This could be anywhere from 90 seconds to 3 minutes if you do this about 3 days per week. So I'm gonna show you 2 stretches to help you with your elbows to make sure they can extend all the way and make sure they can flex all the way. I'm gonna come back down to the floor for this one. Again, you can do this in a standing position on a chair. I'm gonna do it on the ground, but you can do it like this on a chair if that's a little bit easier for you, okay? So, if I bring both of these elbows up like this and I come back into my wrist stretch position, so here's another one, you can do your wrist stretch and you can do the elbow stretch at the same time, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna bring one knee up like this, I'm gonna put it behind my elbow, and I'm gonna pull my elbow back to try and straighten my arm. So I'm gonna pull my elbow over my knee, and again, this shouldn't hurt at all. We should be thinking length
from the palm to the shoulder. All we're trying to do is just encourage that arm to go a little more straight. So if we have an elbow that bends like this when we do this movement, right? It's got a little bit of a bend to it. Being able to push up with one side at a time and try to get that full extension and relax the bicep is gonna help stretch that elbow joint. I'm gonna show you another move in a few for the shoulders that will also help you stretch your elbows in that way. Now, when it comes to the flexion of the elbow, okay? This is a weird move, but it looks like this. We're gonna lie down on the ground. We're gonna bring our elbow down by our hips, by our ribs, right? And I'm gonna put my palm toward the sky like this. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my shoulder as close to my elbow as possible, and I'm gonna roll over my elbow, and I'm gonna roll back to my belly. And I'm just gonna roll over it in this position, trying to create more space for flexion of the elbow joint. Now for a lot of people, you might start to roll and go, oh, that's too uncomfortable. So try not to put all of your body weight and pressure on it. Try to just get enough on there that you feel like you've got to stretch, and you don't have to roll very far if that feels uncomfortable. Again, the number one thing I want you to focus on is how does this feel in your body? Don't do things that don't feel good to your body. So bringing that elbow down and just kind of rolling back and forth, doing this motion every day for about 30 seconds to a minute on the right side, 30 seconds to a minute on the left side, can help you regain that elbow flexion ability that's gonna give you full range of motion in the elbows and make your elbows feel good again. All right, I really hope you enjoyed this clip from our Upper Body Fix Masterclass. Now, if you want to get access to the full masterclass, where we go over all the details to make your upper body feel amazing, including stretches for your fingers, your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders, your upper back, and your neck, teaching you how to feel amazing in your upper body again, well, all you have to do is click the link below and you can get access for free. I'll see you there.